Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I've made a common mistake that beginner potato growers make, and I want to tell you about it today. So I planted my potatoes the other day, and I made a video about it. I posted that video, and thanks to your comments, I now have discovered a mistake. And so I've gone back and I've edited the description section of that to say that, hey, what I did in this video is for indeterminate potatoes. Now I did not know, and I should have known because this is a nightshade like a tomato, that there are determinates and indeterminates. Oftentimes you'll see them described as mid-season or early season or long or late season potatoes, and it has to do with the way that they grow. So I describe planting these potatoes by hilling them up as they grow, as opposed to what Prairie Plant Girl does with her potatoes, because she's got such a short season. And she just sticks them down in there. And I referred to her video, and then I did the opposite. So I've discovered, though, that I have determinate potatoes. I did not know that. It was difficult to find. I did a lot of searching around on the web, and finally somebody pointed me to a website that lists the red Lesota as a determinate potato. That means they set their potato tubers in a fixed amount, kind of like a determinate tomato plant, and you don't hill them up. You just plant them. They give you less potatoes, but they give you all those potatoes all in one layer within the soil, as opposed to an indeterminate potato, which you can hill up as the plant grows, and it will make potatoes all along that growing plant, and you'll get more potatoes, but they take longer, and so that's why they call them a long season crop. So I did my research after the fact, and I discovered it's really difficult to find out whether your potatoes are a determinate cultivar or an indeterminate cultivar. The cultivar I have is red Lesota, and even on some major websites like Burpee sells these seed potatoes, they tell you to hill them up. And so that's what I was going to do. I thought you could do either. You could just plant them down in there and let them grow, or you could hill them up and increase your harvest. It's really difficult actually, and some of my commenters pointed that out, that it's difficult to find out, and you got to do your research. So lesson learned, and I hope that you benefit from it too, to find out what your potato variety requires, hilling up or just planting. Yeah, I gotta pull these tubers up and add some more soil and plant my potatoes 6 inches deep in there and just leave them, let them grow. That's the revision. I always say, you know, we do it here as best we can, and sometimes we make mistakes. Well, I've made a mistake, and I need to let you know about that so you don't plant determinate potatoes and try to hill them up. They'll still grow, but they won't put on the potatoes. They'll put on tiny little potatoes, if any. So yeah, I needed to let you know. So let's dig these out and replant them. All right, let's find these guys. There's one. There's another. Now it rained all night. You can see how difficult peat moss. It takes a lot of water to absorb into peat moss. So it's still relatively dry down here. There's another. All right, so I'll put some more soil in here just because I want them growing up a little higher. Actually, I could plant these right here and put the soil on top of them. There we go. All right, that is how we plant determinates. I've got here a mixture of just basic vegetable potting soil from the big box store, and I've mixed in with it about 5 shovelfuls of peat moss. That helps raise the acidity. Potatoes like an acid soil. And I'm also going to mix in some bone meal for phosphorus, and I'm going to mix in some sulfurized fertilizer to help raise the acidity to a pH of about 5. What I should do to kind of make this up to you guys is leave one of these and hill it up and show you the difference in determinate growth and indeterminate growth. I don't have any indeterminate potatoes, seed potatoes. I can't plant them side by side to show you the difference, but I can show you what would happen if my mistake was allowed to go to fruition. So I'm going to leave that one the way it is, and I'm going to hill it up at least once, and we're going to see what happens. And then we'll compare side by side with the ones that I'm going to correct. So here's what we have now. I have 3 corrected containers, I'll probably need a little more soil on there. I'm going to leave this one, and we're going to see how it does with the hilling up, just to demonstrate what would have happened had you guys not been so gracious as to tell me what I was doing wrong. So I'm very grateful. Thanks. You saved my potatoes. Thank you all so much for helping me out. Please like our videos, subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the subscriptions and your views. And like us on Instagram. We share a lot of photos there, and on Facebook. And we'll talk to you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.